Anyway, it's Rasslin. You got your cream? You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you say it like that? You sound like Luther Vandross all of a sudden. All right, everybody relax. So it is.
Relax.
It is Rasslin. It is SummerSlam is August 21st on Peacock. It's going to be a great event, and we've got some incredible WWE superstars joining me here for a bonus episode this week. We just put out the episode yesterday with Sasha Banks, who's wrestling in a women's title match. Today I'm joined to my left by the Raw Tag Team Champion, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. Well, actually, if you break down the math, you're not really half. You're at least like 70% of the Raw Tag Team Champions. If you really want to be honest. Half. Excuse me. Half. It is almost to my right is the very talented and always fascinating when she's on TV, and the rising star. I got something to tell you about that. The rising star, Liv Morgan. Hello, Liv.
Hello. Thank you.
Well, your first question will be all about that. I don't want to have a mystery.
Okay.
And all the way to the far right is just one of my favorites. I'm going to nerd out here for a second. I didn't do that with you want to relax a little bit? It's one of my favorites just for a very long time. The New Day being what it is, it's been fantastic, and it is, of course, Xavier Woods.
Thank you for the kind introduction.
Wasn't that kind?
Introduction. My tongue is fat in my mouth.
So, question, I really got to start. It's my first question is, what is it like to just be so gigantic? What's it like to be so big? I'm sorry, I was talking to Xavier. You look jacked.
I've been killing it in the gym.
You
I can't
have.
lie. The arms are really on fire right now.
They are.
We call it Mount Woods over here, the top
Really?
of the bicep.
When you say we, you just mean you.
No. We've got a whole following. Trust me. There's Sherpas that live in the crease to take you on the journey, but you got to stop halfway. Get your lungs right with the air.
Correct.
It's thin up there. So
when people die on Mount Woods, they actually stay there.
yes.
Okay.
Life.
What a lovely image to start with.
Oh,
Okay, coffee guy's back.
Oh, thank you.
How much coffee do we order?
2 coffees.
Someone went to Starbucks, so now we get just double coffees.
Do you need another shipment of cream?
That is what the
Oh,
Yeah,
you
he'll
wanna
need
see
more
this?
cream.
You gotta see
Heavy cream, yes. That's just like my wedding night. All right, so
I put my
relax,
ramen order
everybody.
into-
Come on. That's terrible. Good, thumbs up. All right. So I want to talk to you guys. So I'll start with Xavier because I don't know why you're just on the far right and you're in my line of sight.
Okay.
I have a $1 billion idea for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
Me and you. I know WWE's doing fine for you. I assume you're doing well in life.
I'm doing okay.
But I came up with an idea that could make billions, and I want to bring you in on it. Are you interested?
Yes.
You've got famously, up, down, down. You're a video game guy, huge video game guy. I'm a video game guy. I'm a little older than you. I'm 42. What are you? You 41 and a half?
34, so almost.
34. So here's my idea. I'm 42, right? And I'm in the prime of my life right now.
Yeah, I can see.
But very soon, 30 years from now, I'm going to have to be, I'm going to ride off into the sunset. As we all get old, our generation, the video game guys, the guys that grew up with Nintendo and Sega and all that, here's my idea, and you can come in. Video game themed nursing homes. Video game themed old folks homes. So when you check into a nursing home, they give you everything that you've ever had. You get an Xbox, you get a Sega Genesis, you get a Nintendo, you get a PlayStation 2, and the nurses, they're not even nurses. They don't care if you die. They just make sure that all your games work.
Yeah.
What do you think? Video game themed old folks homes.
I think that's great. There's all these assisted living communities.
Yes.
Just fill them with arcade machines.
Yes.
Fill them with arthritis medicine because
Yes.
you got to keep the hands and the knuckles
Right.
ready to go. Have masseuses there to work on the hands and make sure you can do that. As long as I can press buttons, I'm good.
The Xavier Woods video game home for old folks.
I love it.
You're
I
in?
love it. Yeah.
Okay,
We
well-
sign papers after this.
So, no, I've got them right here.
Okay.
So I you know what? I actually did pitch that idea to my wife one day, and she's like, "You've been playing too many video games."
She hasn't been playing enough, is what it sounds like.
Correct.
Because what are you gonna do when you get that old?
Right.
If you're not mobile, if you don't have money to travel or all those things, I could just live in this old folks' home,
Right.
assisted living, and I just have all these video games to play.
Just play Contra all day?
Yeah.
That is life.
Because what else? You already won. You became old. You have won. Now you're just doing extra stuff.
Is that really what we're striving for, to win by getting old? That is.
Yeah.
That's a very simplistic view of life, but it's absolutely right, isn't it?
Yeah. If you make it more complicated, what's the point? You're going to stress yourself out.
So, Liv Morgan, yesterday I interviewed the great Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks will be at SummerSlam. She'll be in one of the marquee matches. She's getting a rematch against Bianca Belair, the rematch of that incredible match at WrestleMania. But I asked her, I said, I assume she planned to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. I assume she planned to go into the fall as the champion. I said, after you beat Bianca, what's next for you? And she said, there's a lot of young, exciting opponents I want to get in the ring with. And the first name she mentioned was Liv Morgan.
Aww.
What about that? I mean, you could. I'm talking about. I don't know what the future holds for Liv Morgan, but there's so many exciting opponents on the women's division. As you go forward in your career, what's the short-term outlook for you?
Like my goals?
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
Shit. I mean, I would love to wrestle Sasha
Can you
Banks.
do me a favor, please? Please don't curse again.
Oh my gosh.
It's all right.
So sorry.
It's okay.
I am such a potty mouth.
It's fine. It's fine.
Notoriously.
Dave Portnoy, he demerits me every time somebody cusses on my show. No, it's fine.
Got
Let
it.
it fly. Let it
I would love to wrestle Sasha. I've never worked with her before. So.
Have you not ever worked with her? See,
No.
I don't know what goes on behind the scenes at house shows that I don't get to go to. I don't know if they try out matchups that I never seen before.
I mean, I've been in tag matches against her, but I don't even think we've ever even really touched much. But I would love to wrestle Sasha. I'd really want to be women's champion. I want to be SmackDown women's champion. I want to be Raw women's champion. I essentially, like, anything that there is to do, I want to do it. So I know I have so much work ahead of me, but I'm excited for a long career.
So you are somebody that in your short time, which is actually not a short time in the business, you've come a long way in a very short time. You've had a lot of different character works and tweaks to your character and this. You've been punk rocker, you've been this and that. How often do you go through that, and how often do you sit back and say, let me change this, let me tweak this until you get to right where you want to be?
I don't know that for me personally, I ever feel like I'm right to where I want to be.
Right.
I feel like it's always a work in progress. I feel like it's good and bad, but I never feel. I'm like the opposite of complacent. Even if I have something great, I'm like, no. It could be better. It could be better. It could be better. So I'm always working on, what is next.
Can I just point something out to you guys? And I'm going to ask you a question in just a second, so just relax a little bit. Can I just point out to you guys that you guys are visiting, and it's fantastic. It's great. SummerSlam coming up. And our staff just brought you all multiple coffees, and nobody brought me a damn thing.
Do you want my extra?
I don't want your extra coffee. I want you to keep your extra coffee because God knows you're anything but complacent. You drink all the coffee you can have. Meanwhile, Mr. Cream over here. Look at this. One drink. Yeah, one drink.
What?
Yeah, one drink, and he's got that much trash. Okay. So, no, you don't have to say anything. It has been, I would assume, professionally and personally, this year has been just a whirlwind for you. It's just been incredible. You made your in-ring debut as far as a wrestler at WrestleMania down in Tampa. And your first match, you go out and you win the tag titles.
Boo.
We'll get to you in a minute, sir. Everybody. Okay, so what's it been like, man? What's this year? Because this year's, Xavier's been there a while, Liv's been there a while, but this thing's popping off for you right now.
It is, man. It's been a lot, but I'm just literally taking it one day at a time and just absorbing every moment, because this is all new. I'm learning a lot from AJ. Just listening to him and just making sure like I'm very present in the moment.
You could learn a lot from a lot of guys, I'm sure, but AJ Styles. I mean, if you're thrown into a tag team with somebody to learn from, that has to be like the top of the list.
Absolutely. They call him phenomenal one.
Yeah, well, we can all call ourselves whatever we want to call ourselves. I mean. You don't want to see what I call myself behind closed doors.
Trust me, I don't want to see.
Correct, yeah. All right. So I just want to say before the show, you dropped just an incredible story, an interesting story. I do want to kind of bring that back a little bit. So your first trip to the United States.
Yes.
You were 15 years old.
I was 15 years old.
And you were given a stack and a sock. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Can I as a 42-year-old man, can I make a guess on camera what I think that is?
Yes.
A stack is $1,000.
Pretty much.
That's right. Yeah.
Correct.
So about $1,000 in a sock, and you showed up, and the first thing, the first thing you bought in America was what?
A Microsoft Zoom.
Okay, a Microsoft Zoom.
So what happened was,
you bought a Microsoft Zoom.
I did, but
Right.
there's a prelude before that, right? So I took a flight straight from Lagos, Nigeria to Atlanta. I was supposed to catch another flight from Atlanta to Maryland, right? So I missed my flight. Because my first time in Atlanta airport, I got lost
Right.
during headlights. And I have a couple of hours to burn in the airport before I go to the hotel. I'm like, you know what, let me do some shopping. I'm here. And one thing I've always wanted before I left from Nigeria, because one of my cousins had an iPod, and I was just so enamored with it. Like, yo, look at this iPod video. You can watch videos here, music. I always wanted one. So I go to the place where they sell the electronics, and I'm like, "Do you guys have an iPod? I need one." They're like, it's sold out. And this was January 8th, 2008, right? So I'm at the airport.
right after Christmas.
Right after Christmas. I'm
Right.
like, "Do you guys have any?" Like, no, it's sold out. I'm like, "Oh, okay. What's the next best thing?" She was like, "We have this. It's a Zune. It does the same thing." I'm like, "I'll take it."
Technically, Zune is supposed to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It
I have
is.
no idea what a Zune is.
It's
I've never heard of
ever-
it before today.
You ever wanted to go eat at McDonald's and you're in a town that isn't rich enough to have one, so you go to like a McDowell's or like a McDougal's? That's a Microsoft Zune.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, just doesn't have seeds on the bun. That's the only difference. So how'd your Microsoft Zune work? Did you have a long, fruitful life with it?
I did, man, for like 2-3 years. I loved it.
My wife's husband bought me a Microsoft Zune for Christmas one year, and the same Christmas my wife had bought me an iPod. So I had to go, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is great. This is fantastic." I don't think I never took it out of the box. You don't have to get mad at me.
I'm not mad at
Wait.
you. This is
Can we
hilarious.
back up?
Did you say
What?
your
Your wife's husband?
Did I say my wife's
You said
husband?
your wife's husband.
Yeah, he did say your wife's husband.
Did I say my wife's husband?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. Yeah.
That I'm from Mississippi. We have different relationships.
Wow.
Hold on.
I meant my wife's father.
Okay.
My wife's father. My wife's husband is nowhere near in the picture anymore.
I was like, I'm digging it if you guys are pausing.
Yeah,
your
I
thing.
just-
Hey,
I
man,
just
I'm
thought
proud of
maybe,
you.
like,
I was gonna give you a round of
they were-
applause.
Positivity.
Family
We could all
tree
get
straight
along.
Up, brother.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
It takes a
Okay.
village.
I was like,
right?
wow.
Did I say my wife's husband?
Yes.
Totally.
Okay. Well, that gives you a little glimpse in the mind what's
I
going
just-
on in my life.
You kept going, so I was like, maybe this is a normal thing. Maybe we're.
Maybe
No, we
we-
gotta ask. We
I
gotta ask.
didn't. Yeah, I just was. I'm gonna shut up for once.
No, please. I'm the one that made an ass out of myself. It was my wife's father. Yeah, bought me a Zune. I never opened the Zune. So you guys are the era of the Thunderdome. Hopefully, is behind us for good. You know, we don't know what's in the future, but it happened. It was you guys made the most of it. But now you're getting back out there. Vegas will have SummerSlam. It'll be a big crowd. You had WrestleMania. You've been on the road for a couple of weeks now. Xavier, I'll start with you because what are the crowds like now that's like different maybe 15 months ago? Because you had crowds for your entire life. They went away.
Yeah.
What do you notice now?
So for me, it's a little extra because I tore my Achilles in October in 2019. We were in Australia, and so I was out for a few months before lockdown even happened. So like, for me, it's coming back to like that visceral energy, and so the fact that people have. I guess people are bringing like TV energy to the live events, as where normally it's like, you know, you come to the live event and it's fun, it's great, you know, you can mess around a little bit more, so the crowd's super interactive. But then when you go to like Raw or SmackDown, everyone's like just losing their minds because there's the lights, the cameras, the fireworks, like it's a little more amped up. And it feels like people, they've been in their houses so long and they just missed wrestling. They're bringing that TV energy to these non-televised shows, and that really helps us out a lot because then we can absorb that and give it back to them. So it's been really fun being back on the road with people. It's been really cool.
What about you, Liv? You notice about the same thing? I mean, it feels like the crowds when I watch now, I don't think I ever noticed how much I love the crowds watching until they came back. I grew up my whole life watching. I was 8 years old in 1987, you know, Pontiac Silverdome, and then the Attitude Era. I grew up watching it, but I never really noticed the crowd except for rare moments like Rock Hogan in Toronto, stuff like that. But now every show I watch, the first thing I notice is the crowd.
Yeah.
And that's a great feeling. Has it been like the same for you where the crowd just like blows you away when you get out
They
there?
blow me away every single time. They bring me to tears. In WrestleMania, when we finally got to be with the crowd again and just walking out on stage in the beginning of the show, I was brought to tears. It's just they're everything that we do is for the fans. So to have them finally come back after being gone for almost 2 years, it's just it's amazing. It's why we do what we do. So I'm so happy that they're back. Oh my gosh, it was the worst.
The worst.
It was the worst.
It was the worst.
It was the worst.
My daughter's 12 years old, and I tell the story to every wrestler that comes in here. But my daughter's 12 years old. I have 3 boys and a girl, and when I had 3 boys, I thought, man, when these guys get 5 or 6, I'm going to get to watch wrestling. I'm going to get to relive my life with them. I'm going to do this, and they're just not there yet. They're not. I have a 10-year-old boy. He likes it a little bit. He knows who John Cena is and all that. But my girl loves it. She loves you. She loves Sasha. She loves Bianca. She loves all of it, and she's the one that wants to go on the road. She's the one I brought her here yesterday to meet Sasha. She loves it so much, and there's no question here. I just wanted to thank people like you and Sasha for giving my daughter that role model. It's fantastic.
Please tell her I said hello. That's
I
so
will.
sweet. That's so sweet.
I will do it. My daughter's terrified of you, though. So, what? I know your debut was at Mania, right? And what's it like, man, going out there and your first match? You got AJ Styles right here. You're looking across probably the greatest tag team of all time, Xavier.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the greatest tag team of all time. You got AJ Styles, and this is your debut match in Tampa. What was that moment like, man?
For me, it was insane because I went to college in Tampa,
Right.
So I went to USF.
Yeah.
And then going back there and then performing on that stage. Actually, the first time when we all came out, the Superstars came out the first. I was so overwhelmed with emotion that Kevin Nash, I saw him in the hallway. He had to give me a hug to like bring me down to earth. Like I was so off. My emotions were like up here.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'd never felt anything like that. Because when I got brought up, it was throughout the Thunderdome, and which was I was flying there. I got used to it. I didn't know the experience of being on TV and doing the live shows. And then once I got to Mania, that first audience interaction, it was insane. Then after going out with this great guys, New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi, and then
the greatest tag team.
the greatest tag team.
Yes,
I don't know. I think it's me and AJ. But
You've been a tag team for like 3 weeks.
But going out there and having that match, and then the way the match played out, and me waiting and me hearing people chant my name, we won Omos. I just felt like goosebumps all over my back. And then when I go out there, I just felt the whole energy of the arena just come down in there,
Right.
and it was almost like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
Like I could see myself in it. Everything was just so slow, and like it was just like it was magical.
Have you gotten a little used to the crowds now? I know you haven't been in front of one as big as Mania yet, but have you gotten a little more used to it now, or do you still feel it?
I still feel it, man. It's something that I've had since when I was down in the Performance Center. Always nervous before I go out there. Trying to make sure I go out there do what I have to do, and still be professional. But it's still something that I'm still cognizant of.
Isn't it crazy how different a basketball crowd is from a wrestling crowd?
Oh, I've told all my basketball friends, you guys, we go to the tournament, NCAA. I'm like, there's nothing better than wrestling crowds.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, that is the top of the line. You can hear the game shot, everybody's cheering. But I say, coming to a wrestling event and hearing the fans go crazy and chant and boo, all that stuff. You just like take it all in, and it's just, man, it's magical. Now I'm getting chills just talking about it.
Xavier, hey, Brandon Walker, BarstoolSports.com. I mentioned New Day as the greatest tag team of all time. Let's pretend New Day didn't exist. Who do you think before you came around were the greatest tag team of all time?
Ooh.
Isn't that a difficult question?
It is, because there's so many things that so many different tag teams bring.
Right.
So for me, I don't know how they rank in like the best to me, but like my favorite tag team growing up was Billy and Chuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Billy and Chuck because there's this match that they had with the Hardy Boys, and it was about the time that I was figuring out in my head like what wrestling like really was, and like I know I want to do this, but like how do I want to do it? So I'm starting to explore those ideas and thoughts. And I'm watching this match, and I remember like Jeff Hardy gets tagged in and Billy Gunn gets tagged in. Billy Gunn, so much bigger, so much larger than Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy is just knocking him around the ring.
Right.
It's that part of the match, and I'm thinking like, man. And I'm watching other matches, and then certain guys who are of a certain size don't fall down for certain guys who are smaller than them,
right.
And it's just not as exciting. And so that's the first time that I realized, man, these guys are wrestling for the match. They're wrestling for their team. They're wrestling for everybody who's in the ring. And that's when things really started to click. So I really took a deep dive into Billy and Chuck at that point. And that was kind of my focal point for like, what do I want to do in wrestling? Because I've always loved tag team wrestling since I was 3-4 years old. And so they became my idea of like, this is what I want to be eventually. Yeah. Like I want to be able to work like this and have matches with everybody on the roster, but still make sure that my stuff outside of the ring is highly entertaining, so it brings you to wanting to see my matches. So for me, it is Billy and Chuck. It was like my big inspiration.
I had that exact same moment. I'm older than you. I had that moment with the Rockers. I had that moment with the Rockers where you've got these big monsters. You got Demolition. You even have the Hart Foundation, which got Jim Anvil Neidhart, who's gigantic, and you've got all these guys. And then I'm like watching the Rockers, and these are two normal sized guys, and they're going out there and they're making it look beautiful.
Yeah.
They're making it look wonderful, and they're making it look awesome, and they're just different than everybody else. And they never won like tag team gold or something, but I always go back to them as the first ones that made me think like wrestling's not just like big muscle heads putting on a show. It's actually they're doing something.
Yeah, it's
and I was
art.
like 10, I was 12. I don't know how old you were when Billy and Chuck, but they were the ones that made me think. Them and Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect in the singles realm. They were like, that's the guys I was saying. Wrestling's actually a skill, and not just a showcase.
Yeah. When you start to break it down like that, I feel like people start to change their perspective, because obviously back in the day, people think, like you said, it's a bunch of meatheads who just scream and punch each other in the face. Like,
Right.
no, we do that, but watch out, because we have degrees, we own businesses, we do a lot of things. And so being able to understand that wrestling isn't just go out there and just throw your limbs around like a crazy person and try to interact with some people and get them to boo you. Like, no, this is a form of art. And my art is different from Liv's art, which is different from Omos's art, but it's all done on a canvas. And I always say, like, artists, like painters, use paintbrushes and all the colors to paint their picture, but like
Right.
we use our fists and our feet on our canvas to show you our art. It's the last form of Shakespeare in the Round. 360-degree audience. You have one take to do all these things. When you're watching a fight scene in a movie, they may have practiced that for 3 months, and then they take the best takes from them practicing and trying it out, and then they put that together, and that's the final product that you see. We don't do that. We don't practice these things. We go out and we do them. We perform them in front of this live audience, and that to me is one of the most difficult things that a person can do, is perform live, not only improv on a microphone, but then with your body at the same time. Like getting dropped by a man who's 7'3" while his arms are extended, so we're falling from 8 feet in the air. Like that doesn't
How
feel
did
good.
that feel?
It feels terrible. It feels terrible. But to almost his point, those crowds being there, that adrenaline rushing through, I don't feel it then. I feel it in the morning, like I feel it right now. But that is such an integral part of what we do, having that adrenaline, having those fans. And Thunderdome was the best case scenario for what we could do at the time. But having these people back, my God, it's a completely different thing. Just like you said, it's weird watching wrestling without wrestling fans.
You mentioned something earlier. I did want to touch on it. I was going to ask about it anyway, but you came back from injury, right? You came back from a major injury, an Achilles, which is not anything to mess with. When you came back, does that adrenaline feel different when you're in the ring for the first time? Is there a fear there that drives you, or what?
Definitely a big fear. And then not having, so I came back during Thunderdome stuff, so I didn't have the actual fan adrenaline there to kind of cover up the fear. Yeah, essentially. So it was weird for like the first month, maybe, just trying to get around my mental state of babying it or anything like that.
Sure.
But it's been luckily good since then, and it's been all right. But yeah, like again, the fans being back definitely like erase all of that.
So we got SummerSlam August 21st on Peacock. Liv, I think there's 2 great women's championship matches that we're going to have. We're going to have a triple threat on the Raw side. We're going to have Bianca Belair against Sasha on the SmackDown side. I know you'll be watching both very, very closely. What's the general feeling like in the women's division on the SmackDown side? Because it feels like there's just a ton of talent.
It's exciting.
It's just
really,
a ton of
really
talent
exciting
right now.
Yeah, we just had Tony Storm,
Sure.
Shotzi, Tegan, and so the division, it was already stacked, and
Right.
now it's kind of just like overflowing with so much talent. So it's exciting. I've never worked with any of those girls either, so it just brings it's like new toys, to like play with. It's not for me, but just for everyone. I just lost my whole train of thought.
Did you
Yeah.
see yourself on the camera?
Yeah.
You're on TV for a living, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal to you. Is it the picture?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I do like that picture.
I made.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I made like 12 of them. I drew those myself. I made like 12 of them, and
You're an artist.
You guys like see indeed 15 of them. Anyway, doesn't matter. That one looks pretty good.
Is that iPod art?
Why? Why would you do that? Why would you say? Is
No,
that insulting it?
No, that's like a way of art.
Oh no,
on
no.
the iPod.
No, actually, I didn't do it.
Digital.
I just had somebody do it.
It's just art,
Yeah.
it's on the tablet.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
I'm not stupid. So anyway, I'm not scared of you. Okay,
He's an artist.
I'm terrified of you. Okay, here's the thing. How can I just? I know it's annoying.
It's okay. Go
What's your
ahead.
shoe size?
Size 18.
18. Okay, it's pretty big. You're probably aware of that.
Yeah.
So your career is just exploding right now. AJ Styles, tag team champions, SummerSlam coming up. I don't know that this might not be on the podcast. We haven't had an announcement that you guys are having a match, right? That we're just
I don't know what's going. Who we're having a match against? We just having fun.
You're just having
and
fun,
talking to
right?
everybody. So I don't know.
so SummerSlam's coming up. Is tag team wrestling something that I know during training? Did you train specifically for tag team wrestling, or is this something that once you got on the main roster with AJ that it kind of came together?
Second answer. Pretty much. Through my training at the PC, all I did was singles, and then when I came up here, it was like, okay, you're doing tag team now. So it was like an adjustment mentally for me, and having to learn different spots of where guys come in, and the hot tags, and it was just different. But with time, I've been learning a lot in the past 4 months, so I think I'm getting the hang of it now.
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest matches we did was the Money in the Bank Fort Worth with the Viking Raiders. That was very challenging for me, but after that it was just like, oh, I get it now.
Sure.
I fully get tag team. I can remember spots. I can do all this stuff. So yeah.
Now in training, did you really tear a hole in your pants in front of the Undertaker? Is that a story that I was told about? Did that really happen?
Who's the informant?
I don't have an informant. I'm a learned wrestling fan that has people.
All right, fair enough. Yes, that did happen. So at the PC, we have what we call PC Lives.
Right.
And the day before the PC Live, this is, I think, right before the Mania before New York.
Right.
Everybody came to town, and they were just like, you know what? We have a PC Live tomorrow. You have any like dress up attire? Bring it, right? And as you can tell, I like my pants very skinny, and I had this skinny dress pants. I put it on, and I'm talking about, you're gonna hop over the rehearsals, hop over the top rope. I'm like, I can do it one time, and I'm fine. Did it one time. They're like, no, I can't do it again. I'm like, brother, my pants are gonna rip. They're like, no. Did it again. I was like, oh, I got comfortable.
You got confident.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the fourth time I try to go, it rips, literally. And I'm just like, what am I going to do? I can't go home. I don't have any pair of pants.
Aww.
Let's go on with the show.
Okay.
So the whole time during the show, I'm standing on the ringside, and my whole backside is just exposed. And you have Taker, Batista, Hunter. Everybody's just dying laughing.
So everybody's there.
Everybody's there. And my butt is just hanging out. They're going to have some draws on.
It's split in the back.
It's slit straight in the back.
Oh my
Yes.
Just right there for everybody
Just
to
right
see.
there for everybody to see. Yep.
Were you wearing undies?
Yep.
At least there's that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was I was glad.
Yeah, no, I bet other people were too. So I know we're probably running short on time. I want to just go one more round here. Xavier, a couple years ago, 2019 Meadowlands, or 2000 MetLife Stadium, 2019. That's when Kofi Kingston, WrestleMania, and the famous shot of you just in tears, crying, and what an incredible moment it was. I don't want to ask about that moment, but Money in the Bank a couple of weeks ago, Big E gets to the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
New Day's been so special for 7 years now. Since 2014, is that right?
Something like that.
Something like
6,
that.
7.
But
yeah.
you guys have been together, and it's just been awesome. A success story for the ages. What was the Big E moment like for you backstage? Because I know you weren't out there like celebrate with him, but what was that like to see your guy do that?
It's awesome because since we've been together, we've always kind of been a unit that like lifts up the group.
Right.
Rising tide raises all ships kind of thing. There's no animosity. There's none of it's only love, and it's one of the few times in my wrestling life where I've been able to find that, and I think that's what helps us stay together so long. So like watching E finally get that moment of like being Mr. Money in the Bank after knowing that he deserves to be Mr. Money in the Bank, after knowing that he deserves a title shot, after knowing that he should be champion for so long, it's very refreshing and almost relieving to know that, yes, we know this, but I need people in this room to understand it. So to know that they now understand it makes me feel even better for myself, for him, for Kofi, for like us as a group, because it's just like, if one of us does well, we all do well. And so we were just back there waiting for him to come back to the curtain so we could hug him.
They ran.
Did you really?
Yeah, because
That's
that's real moments.
Yeah.
People understand what wrestling is, but like when moments like that happen, and to your point of the crowd being there, if that would have happened in the Thunderdome, it would have been cool. It would have been awesome. But to feel that energy that everybody else, okay, so again, talking about, we know, the people in the room know, but the people in the crowd also know.
Right.
And so it's like, it's this, you take all of that and you wrap it up into an emotion, and you can't really explain it, but it feels right. You know,
I think that was just, as a fan that is not inside the business whatsoever, I think that was just such a well done moment because the way the match was constructed, there were other guys in the match that had kind of been there before, but all were very believable to win the match, like Seth Rollins. Of course, you always think he's going to win it. And I think there were a couple of finishes or false finishes where you think, oh, he's about to go grab it, and I was just rooting hard for Big E. I'm like, I'm 42 years old. I shouldn't be rooting this hard for another human being to do that. But I was just like, oh, please, just come on, one time. And then there's always that moment in a ladder match when you realize, oh, this is it. And he started going up for that last time, and I was like, and sitting by my girl, and I just freaked out. I just got so excited. It was so well done, such a moment, and I can't wait to see what comes out of that. I have a couple of questions, road questions, because you guys are back on the road, right? You're back traveling again. You're back going all over the country. I'm a big-time wrestling nerd, but there's things I don't really know. I know I can Google things about the wrestling business. My question is this. When you travel around the country, what's the city you're most excited to go to because of the restaurants that you can go to afterwards? What's the one you're like, oh, we get to go here tonight because we're having tacos? Something like that. What's the city where you're like, and I know you haven't been on the road as much as WWE, you'll soon have this city for yourself. But what's, you know what I'm saying, Xavier? Where's that place you go where you're like, because I saw the... I don't remember the name of the show, but the ride-along, the WWE ride-along network, where you guys went to Kofi's place in Boston to get burritos or something. I don't remember what you got, but he was excited about that because he's from there. But where's a place where you're like, man, I got to go there and get this?
I don't know. For me, it's not like restaurants. For me, it's arcade bars because they're all over the place. So probably like there's so many that I love, but I've had a lot of good times at this spot called the Cobra. It's in Phoenix. Yeah, it's a great spot.
I'm going to Phoenix in January.
Go to it. There's a place in Milwaukee called Up Down. They're a little chain that's starting bouncing around. Up here in the Northeast, there's Barcade.
Yeah, we got one about three streets away.
Yeah, but the one in the city doesn't serve liquor. It's only wine and beer. And it's like, sir, I'm trying to get lit and play NBA Jam.
What kind of video gamers drink wine when they're playing video games?
Yeah, so it's those for me. Just any place with an arcade bar.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I don't have any places.
You don't like to eat?
No, I love to eat, but I guess I just don't care.
You don't care about food? Okay. No, I don't know why that. My second question is much more ridiculous than that one, and that was a ridiculous question. My second question is, when you travel around to all the arenas in the world, what's the arena with the worst parking situation? Because let me tell you something. I drive a lot, and nothing will ruin a trip worse than a bad parking situation. Tampa?
Worse.
Tampa got bad parking?
We get no parking.
Really?
No parking. We get shuttled.
You know, he played basketball in Tampa, so you're talking about his players.
I don't think, yeah, Tampa's. You talking about New York, not Tampa?
Nah, I like when I get to pull into an arena and I get to just park my car. You know,
I like that too.
Last week we had to, and it was, they took care of everything for us, so it was very nice. But we had to park somewhere 15 minutes away and get on a shuttle, then be delivered to.
Oh, you guys were there. Amelia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Makes sense.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't know yet.
You work for the Tampa Board of Tourism?
He's used to Thunderdome parking.
I bet you will soon. Last question, and sorry for the ridiculous ones. I was just wondering, because I've always heard y'all love working Madison Square Garden, but you also hate working Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that parking is weird because you got to go. It's underground, then you got to cross the street.
That's weird too.
Yeah. That's weird. But then also Barclays is weird because we have to park at a parking deck and then get shuttled.
Really?
To the arena. Yeah.
Boston is kind of hard too.
Yeah.
And you got to take that elevator.
Yeah. Well, Detroit is too because you park underground, then you take an elevator, then you walk like a quarter of a mile to get to the arena, then another quarter mile to get to the locker room. And then you're pulling your bags over carpet. It's carpeted, so it's harder to pull your leg.
Carpet is in hotels. I don't know why they put carpet on the floors.
Why?
Everyone has a bag.
Yes.
And everyone's wheeling their bag.
Yes.
You don't play cards or something?
Yeah, let's play cards. Yeah.
You'll get it in a few months.
Hold on.
SummerSlam, August 21st, Allegiant Stadium, I believe, and it's on Peacock. It's going to be fantastic. The card. Listen, I don't want to belittle WrestleMania at all because I loved it. It was fantastic. The spectacle, everything, and the crowd being back. But this card on paper looks incredible. You got John Cena coming back. You got Roman Reigns on top. You got Bobby Lashley against Goldberg. What an incredible clash of Titans that is. You just up and down the card. Xavier, I guess I'll start with you, but this big event feels, you know how some big events feel big, also a little special? That one, this one feels like that. Is that accurate?
Definitely, because like you said, the card, the big matches that they have set up so far. But then I think it's also the fact like people love SummerSlam, and I feel like it's always been rivaled between like, oh, am I going to SummerSlam or am I going to Mania? Because like they've got kind of the same vibe, you know. Summer just seems like a party, but then the fact that it's in Vegas. It's the first SummerSlam since everybody's been stuck inside. Yeah. So I feel like there's a lot brewing around it that makes it even more exciting than it normally does.
You made a noise when he said Vegas. You going to be okay?
I mean, okay, the only reason is because that after Vegas, we are going to Denver and we go to San Diego. And I love San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
And I love burritos. And I'm looking forward to have a California burrito once we go to San Diego.
Well, why didn't you answer that one?
You didn't ask me. You asked them. No. He asked the question.
That
And
was
he
a
looked
group
over
question.
there. Yes.
What else do you want to go eat?
Yeah.
Tell us.
I mean,
where do you like? Because I don't like anything, so I'd like.
I
to
love
know a
all
place.
foods, so I'm literally going to the city because I watch Guy Fury, Drivers, Dying.
Drive-in.
Yep,
A.
and I always, you know, on my Google Maps, you know, find a restaurant and once to go here, all the restaurants. So
You sound like you're running for office in like a restaurant. I love all foods.
I do, literally.
Hello, my
literally.
fellow foods.
literally, I love all food.
Where's they got good burritos in San Diego?
What? That's an understatement of the year.
Okay.
Burritos, yes.
Very strong feelings.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
By the way, if y'all don't know, San Diego has the best Mexican food
What
in
is
the
a
whole
California
country.
burrito?
Wait, are you saying San Diego has better Mexican food than Mexico does?
He said
No.
in the country,
In the
Xavier.
country.
He said in the
I missed it. My
In the
bad.
country.
It's a different country. I think.
Better than Texas.
Oh wow.
You're gonna
You
get.
can't
That's
can't
fights.
go after Texas like this.
No, you
They'll
never
get
do.
mad.
What's a California burrito?
So California burrito is burrito.
Burrito
with,
made in San Diego.
carne asada, which is like the beef.
Yeah.
It has fries and all the
Hate
goodness
it.
in it. And what?
Hate
Oh,
it.
you
No,
beef and fries?
fries and a burrito. No,
What?
No.
it's too much. It's too much like carby.
You can't have too many good things.
It has everything in it, like a burrito, but just
feel
with
like it
fries.
makes it dry.
See,
I
it's
feel
not
like that's
dry.
dry.
It's
Do you
not
like
dry.
rice
You have to
in your
try
burrito?
it.
No, actually, no.
What can we talk? What do you like in your burrito?
I like
Just meat, cheese.
I like cheese, lettuce. I like pico de gallo. I like
you're describing a
peppers,
taco.
onions. Yeah.
That's a taco.
That's a taco, yeah.
Does the rice make a burrito?
No,
Yeah.
the wrap makes
The
a burrito
wrap.
burrito,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I get it wrapped.
Yeah, but that's a taco. That's a taco. That's a
You
real
close a
taco.
burrito, right?
Yeah, you do close. Yeah, but what you just described was like a
Just 'cause there's no
like
rice?
There's no. Yeah, there has to be rice.
What?
In the burrito.
Does there?
There has to be rice. That's a wrap.
So then, what's a breakfast burrito? There's no rice in
It has a
that.
starch in it. Yes, potatoes.
Eggs.
Eggs.
But
potatoes.
the starch is the wrap.
Boom.
No,
that's not. That's
It
part of the
is.
starch.
No,
It
that's part
is.
of it. No, no,
You guys are. I don't know. I feel like you're reaching a little bit.
I don't think we're reaching. All right, first of all, do you have family that runs like a burrito joint in San Diego?
Not at all. I just love California burritos and carne asada fries. Look it up.
Can we just point out that I asked a question about food? He said nothing.
Yeah, not a word.
Not a word. I thought he was asleep. And then I look over and he just wants to go on an entire
Come
rant.
on, man. Do you see how big I am? I gotta eat.
I understand. This has been fantastic, guys. I didn't know how this interview was going to go, so I just, 3 at one time, but I'm very, very talented. I made it work. And you guys are all delightful. You're fantastic. Xavier,
Thank you.
since I got you here, I've said it before, but I just want to gush a little more. I've just been, 2014, when you guys came around, I've just been a huge fan of New Day ever since.
Thanks,
It's
man.
been fantastic. It's been something I bonded with my girl about, saying, hey, these are my favorite right now. Watch them. And that's kind of how she got in. And she found her own favorite. She loves Drew McIntyre. She loves Sasha. She loves this one right here. So anyway, I just think huge New Day fan, huge fan of what you guys are doing in the women's division. It's been fantastic. And the future for you is incredible. It's awesome. And I thank you all for joining.
Thank you
And
for having
I
us.
guess anything else? Xavier, you want to say anything?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Up, Down, Down, if you have yet to subscribe already. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Up, Down, Down without the O's. And check out G4 on all social media platforms at G4TV. I am a G4 TV host. Lots of information coming on the pipe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Xavier Woods. No, I changed it. Remember, at Austin Creed Wins. There we go. Thanks.
Tell them.
Quick question.
Tell 'em.
Following you, I should know this. Favorite video game of all time?
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Is that the GameCube or is that the
GameCube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been assaulted verbally about it in here that people like Mario Kart. You guys do big boy bets, changing middle names, getting tattoos. I will crush anybody at Barstool. In
I
Mario
think our
Kart Double
Game Time
Dash.
guy that is here, I think he got hired because of his prowess at Mario Kart.
He said 64, and that one's fine. But Double Dash, I'm untouchable.
well, first of all, Mario Kart 64 is not fine. It's iconic. It's legendary.
It is,
It's
but I
wonderful.
mean, nostalgia does a lot for it.
Yeah, because it's all boxy and stuff.
Yeah. But as far as like a game, Double Dash is just a better game.
Never
to
played
me.
Double Dash.
Okay.
To me.
That's the one where you got somebody on the back, right?
Yeah, you have 2 players. There's special items that people have. It's just it's a more complex game. It's a thinking man's Mario Kart. You
Not
know?
for me.
No, you would do great.
Okay. Do either of you have a YouTube channel or anything? You got a burrito place? You gonna,
Oh my gosh.
What's that? You good?
Yeah.
Everybody good? Okay. This was fun. SummerSlam coming up August 21st. Peacock. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there because God
Are
knows.
you?
Yeah, I
Yay.
am. My
Oh,
first
that's gonna be
SummerSlam
awesome.
ever.
Yay!
Really? Congrats.
Are you bringing your daughter?
No, I'm not. Well, you know.
Oh, I didn't make it sad. I'm sorry.
But just listen, if anybody with WWE was like listening right now, you guys are going to be in Madison Square Garden on September 10th, and I would love to take my daughter to that.
Let's get her there.
Hey, all right.
Dream's
I got a
coming
thumbs
true.
up on that? I don't know if I can come. Anyway, that's Rasslin. These guys are awesome. See you at SummerSlam.